Hi, it's Nathan here, and today we're talking about Section 28 and 29 of the Model WHS Act. So these sections are the duties of workers and the duties of other persons. Other persons are typically going to be visitors, clients, member of the public, or anyone else who happens to be in that workplace that isn't doing work. So the duty of workers, I try to simplify the wording for these ones, and there's essentially 4 duties, and it is you need to take care of yourself, you need to take care of others, you need to follow instruction, and you need to follow policy and procedure, reasonable policy and procedure. And it also says when you're taking care of others that it's through your act or omission. So you need to be careful about what you do, and you need to be careful about what you don't do as well. So for example, if I'm standing on top of a building and I throw a brick off and it lands on someone's head, I've done something, and that has, jeopardized someone else's health and safety. So I've breached that legal duty. Let's say if I climb up out of a manhole and I don't put the manhole cover back on, that's an omission of mine. So that could be a legal duty, a breach of my legal duty as well if someone were to fall down that manhole and hurt themselves. In terms of duties of other persons, they have all of those except one. So duties of other persons in the workplace needs to take reasonable care of themselves, take reasonable care of others through acts or omissions, and follow instruction. But then they have that 4th duty removed. So follow policy and procedure. My best bet, my understanding is why that is removed is because if you're just a visitor of the member of the public, how are you meant to know what the organization or what the work site's policies and procedures are? So in terms of prosecutions, the regulators generally go for the business in terms of prosecution or officers. In terms of prosecutions of individuals, it does happen. I'll give you a few examples. One was a supervisor of a workshop, and he was also a crane operator or licensed crane operator. He was using a franner or some type of mobile crane to move something in the workplace, and he has told one of his offsiders, and this is a breach of when you do your high risk license for your mobile crane, this is like a golden rule. You do not breach this. You do not go near that suspended load. And he's instructed one of his young workers, one of his sidekicks, to go in there and do something. The load slipped, the load fell, landed on the young worker and killed him. So they prosecuted him. Seen other prosecutors. The example I gave of throwing a brick off the roof, that's an actual example of something that someone did. That guy threw a brick off a roof, landed on an apprentice's head. Luckily didn't kill him, but put him in hospital. And I believe that guy got a suspended jail sentence. So yes, the regulator can prosecute individuals for breaches. They can and do. It has to be a fairly serious breach. But yeah, typically the regulator's more after prosecuting the business owner and officers. Yeah, hope that helps.